Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another instalment of Northumberland Rock Hopper. It's the 24th of November and the competition starts at 2:30 till 4:30. We picked a beach market day at Foxton in Northumberland near Almouth. Come and had a look at it yesterday to see if there's any weed here. Looked a little tiny bit too heavy yesterday for my liking, but it's dropped off considerably since then. I'd actually probably prefer a little bit more sea on today, but there is a bit of movement, so there should be fish. We're here with 3 other club members today, Stu Harden, Dean Allen and Mickey Welsh are here. Hopefully we get something today. Unless it's a decent fish, I'll be putting everything back today. But like I say, between the 4 of us, somebody's got to get something, surely. Like a mother's meeting. I'll stick all the tide information and whatnot up on the screen in a moment, because trying to remember it's a nightmare. Right guys, we've got 9 minutes to go here before we cast in. Baits today, I'll quickly go through them. Lug worm, fresh lug, dirty squid, cartwing, mussel. We've got a decent assortment and hopefully, not sure whether to go big baits or small baits clipped. I think I'll wait and see what the 2 better casters do, and if they're getting fish at distance I might slim down a bit and try and get a bit more distance. And I think for the first one I'll just kind of like a half decent sized bait and just lob it as far as I can. Right, well I'm in the water, and even though I walked up to my right a bit, that southerly wind caught the line, and by the time I hit the water, it was actually dragged to my left. I'm almost in front of Mickey, but if he has the same issue we shouldn't have a problem. Right, well I'm not too happy with that first cast there. Like I say, I did. Oh, bollocks me. There's a start. Right, well that's the first cast fishing away there now. I've had to recast it actually because the wind caught my line and I ended up with like a huge boom. By the time it settled on the seabed it was almost down in front of Mick. So I've just pulled it in recast. So I'm not really expecting to pick anything up on this because most of the scent have been washed out in that first cast. So I'm going to quickly get another one baited up. I've got into a 7-ounce sinker this time. Not because we're not holding bottom, more just to combat the side wind. Try and get it up in the air and down a bit quicker. So I've got a big Gemini, which I love in a heavy sea. It's picking up actually, the sea. It's definitely heavier than it was when we first got here. So that one's in the water fishing. It's still daylight, so I'm not exactly massively confident in daylight, but it has thrown fish out in daylight, so it is possible. Like I say, we're holding bottom okay, just that side wind, and there's no weed at the moment, or what weed there is, very little, so it's not an issue at the moment. So you need to walk up tide, you know, a good 20 yards or something to make your cast, because by the time it settles on the seabed, if you haven't walked up, it's not in front of you, it's way down tight of you. So I'm going to quickly get one baited up. Nobody's had anything on that first cast there, so we'll quickly get another one baited up and try and get a fresh one in the right place this time. Right, second cast is baited up and ready to go. I'm just going to drop this rig in my box while I'm in the sea. I don't want any dogs picking me bait up. Right, I'm not going to film this, so I'm going to put the camera back in the box because I'm so far away from the box here. I'm going to wade out, stand in the water with the rod on my hip just to keep it up above the surf for a bit. So this is my second cast. Get back to you and see what happens after that one. So that's the second cast, almost fished out now. Haven't had a bait. I don't think anyone's had a bait so far. The sea's getting bigger and bigger every minute. But it's not too big that it's like you can't fish it. The hardest problem is getting your singer to land where you want it to land, because there's such a crosswind. Apparently there's fish at the north end of the beach on Seaton Point. So there is fish in the area. So whether we need darkness for the fish to feel confident enough to come onto the beach, we'll have to wait and see. So like I say, I've scaled down the baits a little bit. Gone down to half a wing. Just to try and combat some of the drag. The sea looks good, really. Maybe slightly too heavy. Not sure. We'll have to wait and see. You know, the chances are definitely greater on darkness. So we'll just have to see how we get on. But so far, I don't think anybody's had any action. Everybody's pretty much fishing the same baits. I think Stu and Dean probably got a few peeler. Stu's got some blacks. I haven't got any blacks. I do like blacks, even if they're frozen. Fresh blacks are ideal. Frozen blacks are fine. They certainly help bulk your baits up. I'm having to go with Stu's rod today. I've borrowed his Sea Glow Match and Scratch. The glass tip. It's handling the surf lovely. But it did blow over on that first cast. Luckily it hasn't damaged it. But he'll probably have a heart attack when he watches it back and see that it's fell over. So, almost at the end of cast number 3, and nobody's had anything. Nobody's had any bites, nothing. The forecast said it was going to pick up to about 40, lower 40 mile/hour winds tonight, and it certainly has. Mating conditions a little bit tricky. That wind swung a bit southwesterly now, so hopefully it just doesn't make casting quite so difficult. Oh, that light was lovely 2 seconds ago. Beautiful red sky there. You might be able to pick up the last little bit there. So it's nearly headlight time. Dean's baiting up. Stu's almost swimming. Been joined by a few more anglers now. There must be another couple of clubs out tonight. I think Anik and Amble are out. You see it's slow going at the moment, but I think I've got a bit of weed on my line bouncing around in the surf. Not a lot, probably just a little tiny bit, but it's enough to make your bloody rod tip bounce all over. But I mean, like, I am standing right back here, to be fair, quite a distance from the water. So you are going to pick a bit of weed up. So we're sort of into darkness now. So far things have been very slow. Nobody's had a knock at all out of the 4 of us here. That's that bit of weed on my line. It just seems to be like sort of as the wash comes up the beach. Seems to calm off a little bit there for about, well, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, but picking up again now. We're at low water now, and believe it or not, from where we actually started from, 2 hours of 4 low water, I think I've only moved, my box has only moved 10 yards. So I like to fish when there's a bit more tide pull. It's not a very good tide tonight. Stu's brother's on the second gully, I think he's on. It's Seaton Point there, and he's had 5 fish or something in 6 casts. So they're here, but it just looks like they're at the south end of the beach. And not at the north. Obviously we chose this mark thinking that Marden Rocks would knock the southerly sea off. But so far it's been pretty fruitless. The boys over there. Somebody on flu cool. That's a few on the beach lake, but I haven't seen any fish caught. But we've paid our money to take that chance, so we're here now. It's too far to really jump in the van and drive anywhere else. I don't really bother with that. I pick a mark, if it doesn't produce, that's it. What I will do is keep fishing now, keep putting the baits in regular. It only takes that one fish, like it's a one fish club, you only need a good one. Of course I've put the kiss of death on it the night by bringing a fish bag. I never catch a fish when I bring a fish bag. So that's the fourth cast in. I've got a kind of bit of weed on here by the feels of it. Just making sure I haven't got a fish on here. I think it's me. I might have a fish on here. Could be me sink as wires. But I thought I felt a little kick there. Just take me time in case it's a fish. Yeah? I don't know. I thought I felt a kick there, but I think it's just weed. Yeah. I've just taken my time in case it is, but I think it's weed. Well, it's a fish. Know what we came for? That's not a bad flatty, actually. Well, that's not what we came for, but that's not a bad flatty, is it? I thought I felt a kick. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is, that isn't a bad flounder. Look at that. Not bad at all, but it's not what we're after tonight. Hook's perfect on the circle hooks. Look at that. See that? Hands in the way. That isn't a bad flounder at all, that. Right, we'll get it back though. Right, so the tide will be flooding in now as I make this weary jaunt back to the tripod. Yeah, well, it's not a blank anyway. We're getting a decent flounder there, but we're not after flounder the night. No point we're not in. I don't know how long I'd have been lying on, because I had a full 25 minutes soak, that bait. Well, what can we say? We're off the blank. Sort this rig out. So I've just cast out there, I think that's my 5th cast. The water's definitely starting to turn. It's flooding in already, so pretty much wasted my time bringing my box and that down here, because I've only had it down here for one cast. I'm going to move it again. Anyway, I haven't caught a flatty in ages. And that was quite a decent flatty that had. Size wise, I'm not sure, probably wasn't a pound, but wouldn't have been a million mile off a pound. Right, look at all this old bait stripped off this one. And there's a bit squid not on there, but fresh baits, plenty scent. Don't be lazy, get it out there. You're only here for, if you're fishing a matcher, you're only here for like 4 hours, make the most of it. Hopefully, like I say, that was the first fish, and that was the first real cast into darkness, so hopefully that's just the beginning of something, I hope. But so far it's been very slow considering the sea that's running. Well, I'm not sure what cast this is, it's been a few now. It's 5:15 and the match finishes at 6:30. So far, I don't think anyone's had any fish that I've seen. It's in the darkness now, so I can't really tell. But apart from that flatty, it's been dead. Still keep putting the baits out and I'll try my best, but I think the fish are at the south end of the beach. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone else is getting anything from down there. Sorry if I look at the camera. But yeah, it's just been crap up here. One flatty. But Graham, Stu's brother, has been fishing down the south end and he's had a cracking bag of fish. So there is fish there. There's not really time to move. And I'm not that bothered, to be honest, I'm not that bothered about catching. I'm not even bothered if I weigh in tonight. You know, I've missed a lot of matches this season. I think this is only the second match I've fished. So to be honest, it's not even worth killing anything to take back, just to see I've caught something. But yeah, a little bit disappointed that with the sea running we haven't actually been able to come across something, but it has been poor. But it's not over, like I say, don't give up. Keep your baits going in. There's a bit of rain, that wasn't forecast, so I'm going to get that camera quickly dropped in the box. Can't afford that getting knackered. Well, unfortunately, that's not a great deal to report. Dean's had one. He reckons it's not very big. I haven't seen it, but she says to be lucky to get a £1.2. I've had that flatty. I thought I've had the one and only proper bite I've actually seen tonight, just before there, and I lifted into it. Well, I left it for a bit to see if it would come back. Nothing come back, so as I lifted into rebait, there was an almighty weight on the end of it, and I thought, oh. But again, quite quickly, within seconds really, you don't feel any thumping. But that weight come all the way in, I think it was just weed, and then dropped off shortly, 20 yards out. But it never once kicked, so I certainly don't think it was a fish. Well, got less than an hour now, 5:45, just after. So I've had wing on all night, and now it's come of it. So I'm going to go full. I've got a load of squid left, a load of lug left. I'm going to go full. They're not massive. Full squid, load of lug. Finally, I missed a bite just before there. Managed that little one's gone back. It's not big enough. Sorry about that, people. I got a bite there and I didn't have the microphone or anything set up, and I just wanted to get the fish back. So it's blown a gale without the microphone on. So not sure what you've heard exactly, but anyway, finally I did get one there. So I mean, we haven't blanked. I've had a flatty and a little cod, and that was about £1.25. I'm not going to kill that to go back the way in. So I think I've got plenty of bait left. I'm just going to chalk the competition off, but I'll let you know the results when I get them later. And I'm probably just going to stop out for another couple of casts and just see if I can. We're just after like personal best sort of things, aren't we? So it's been okay. It's been a challenging night. Definitely been a challenge, but so far Dean's the only one who's caught. Well, me and Dean, but like I say, I'm not really classing that as a fish. I'm not going to weigh in. I haven't got any fish on the board this year. I was supposed to actually fish hard this year and see how well I've done, but I just never got into it. Maybe it's next year. But both my fish and Dean's fish are a similar stamp, to be honest. Quite small, you know, a little over a pound each. Well, it's still been a nice night, you know. I think it's a challenging in a challenging night. If you do catch, it's all the more rewarding, I think, at times. But anyway, what time is it? 12 minutes past 6. Normally up here, if you've got fish, you want to be leaving. Make sure you get back and don't miss a weigh-in. Had a decent night. I'm very surprised there hasn't been a decent fish kicking about. Like, it's when I seen that sea, I thought, oh, someone's going to back up the night. I did see it to the lads. I'm not kind of guarantee we'll all get fish, but I did think someone would get fish, and it just hasn't worked out that way. Well, I thought I had a bait there, but it looked like a bait from here. I took the camera and everything down, but I hadn't actually pressed record, so I've just been standing there watching the rod for 5 minutes, not even recording it. But as it happens, nothing come of that. There was no, if it was a bait, it was just something small having a little look. Typical, isn't it? 4 minutes after the match ends, I get the best one of the night. That's easy. It's just about £2. Hooked beautifully. Oh, it's not. Oh, I'm gonna kill that. Yes, that's the best one of the night. £2 fish, easy. I'm gonna have to kill it. It's deep hooked, so it's a nice fresh fish. My son's gonna have something to eat tonight. I thought I seen a bait before there, like, so we'll get this one back out. Shame there's nothing a bit bigger about, but on such a tough night, I finally end up with 2 cod and a flatty. Not the end of the world, is it? Right, I'm gonna get this fresh one out. It's got to be something a little bit bigger. Kicking around, surely. I hate killing fish, but unfortunately there's no way I was going to get that one back. That's the best fish so far, then a little over £2. Nice fresh fish. So that last fish come on straight lugworm and squid. A lot of slack line. I really struggled all night to take that bow out. Just fished that last cast out there, and the actual hook didn't unclip from the bait clip, so I was never going to catch anything there. I'm going to make this my last cast. Obviously I haven't bothered going back the weigh-in, but like I say, if I find out the results, I'll put them up for you. If I get a fish here, I might have one more cast. If not, I'm just going to put what worms I've got left here, I'll let them go and call it a night. And hopefully we'll get one here. I can't believe there hasn't been something half decent kicking around, like, but that's fishing, you know. I've done well, to be fair, to end up with 2 fish in a flatty on a night as tough as this. My dinner is calling, and I might call in and get a couple of cans on the way home. The nightcap, because I never sleep after a night's fishing. I'm always too high. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be my last cast. It's my house is calling. Our wind's picked right up now, and I'm getting weed, like, not a lot of weed, but I'm getting a little bit of weed bouncing around in the surf on every cast. So the rod tip's just going nuts. I'll leave this a full 25 minutes. But I think this is going to be my last cast. So guys, if you've stuck out this long, thanks for watching. It's probably been a tough watch, because it's been a tough night's fishing. I'm just going to pull this one in any second now. That's it for the night now. Like I say, it's been tough, but slightly rewarding that I'm getting 3 fish altogether. So it hasn't been it could have been worse, could have been lashing down with rain, we could have been soaked and whatnot. We're not cold, it's just been a tough night. But we have getting a few fish, so not the end of the world. So until next time, unless I get a monster on this last cast there when I pull in, until next time, thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and thank you to everyone who's joined the channel. It's been amazing. Thank you very much. Tight lines, everybody.